Okay.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Where do we left?
We left.
We left.
We left.
This is the start of the movie. Hi.
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 Hi. This
Yay.
is your commentator Andy, and this is your. I guess.
Are you?
I'm Andy.
You're introducing me. I am Aaron. I am also Mystile, the recorder of this awesome boss kill, and the only person that likes using fraps in the Guild Burning Sensations.
Which
Thanks
is
everybody.
kind of pathetic because it'd be awesome to have more than one perspective on a whole.
Sometimes we got a couple of those back in Wrath, but it was a pain in the ass to get those files across the internet.
Why? But, you could just go to like a free server host and everything like that. It'd be pretty efficient here.
Yeah, they kept disconnecting from my server though.
You need to learn though.
That's okay. Back to the. Oh my god! We're going to the dark phase, though. Andy, did you see that?
No, I'm being very distracted here.
No, I don't think I ever actually explained to you what happens in the dark phase. But nope, skip that part. Didn't I on the introduction? Yeah.
There's a dark phase casting engulf darkness.
Right. So basically, I've never actually tanked this, but I think what engulfing darkness does is kind of this big frontal cone AOE on the tank. And it prevents the tank from being healed, and so he's got to be topped up before that happens.
Does anybody have to be in front of the AoE to like spread out the damage?
No,
it's not like a cleave or anything like that?
Well, no, it's not the meteor effect thing. But then he also throws out these I think it's like 5 or 6 vile swills.
I can't really tell because there's those 4 warlocks casting.
Right, and see that's actually the second mechanic in this fight, in this phase. You know, you stay out of the fire, and you stay out of the slime. But
the black stuff.
The other part is you can't fucking see the slime to move out of it because there's hellfire everywhere because the warlocks are overpowered. Can't see fucking shit with all these goddamn particle effects.
You can always turn down the particle effects, or
but Blizzard.
Or you could cuss out your warlock and say, "Change your goddamn spec."
No, because you see their damage. Their damage is fucking amazing. I tried with the particle effects. It's tied to the particle effects and not
of the dark AOE stuff, isn't it? Also?
Right. You turn down projected textures and you can't see, your death and decay. You just see like little boils, but you still see that big swoosh fire crap from the warlocks. And so I have to turn down particle effects, but then you can't see the black stuff anymore because it's tied to the particle effects.
And so it doesn't. It's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Well, kind of. You can still see the fire, but then
see the fire, but you can barely see the particle effects of the AOE.
But so anyways, we got past that phase and we were pretty much on time.
The blue phase,
right?
This is the ice phase of the fight.
Yes, it's RNG in which phase you get next. It's always the black phase and it goes into the frost phase. But the black that's the one you can't see in the night and they take your bikes.
Double darkness.
The phase that steals your bicycle. But
oh, you racist!
Shut up. Our DPS was pretty much on time. We pulled the melee out when it switched to the ice phase because you could freeze someone over there and freeze 9 people at the same time.
If your melee gets frozen, is there any like negative effects, like anything major, like let's say, if they're frozen, they take damage over time?
Right. You'll see. You can't see anymore because we're out of that phase. But when he throws the ice block, they take a ton of damage and take damage over time until you break it. But they also take a big burst of damage when you break it. So you have to heal them up and then break it.
So basically, they have to be topped off before you even break it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot easier in normal mode and they do more damage on hard mode. But right here, we're doing.
Oh, it wouldn't be heroic if they didn't take more damage. It'd be more difficult.
Exactly. You're talking about frontal cone meteor attacks, and this fire scorching blast actually is one of those things.
And so you're having all your melee being in front of with the tank.
No, we're not. We are right now, but we were right there. We were cheesing it. We used Guardian Spirit on the tank. He took 3 million damage, but didn't die.
So basically, it's like cheat death.
It's like, well, that's
It's
you didn't know what Guardian Spirit was?
No, I'm kind of.
You didn't know what Guardian. I thought you played this game.
I do play this game.
Don't you kill priests in PvP?
Well, because priests are really easy to kill in PvP. Right now, they have no mobility. They hard cast every one of their abilities, so it's very easy to.
What's a hard cast?
Hard cast is when they're casting a spell and it has a cast bar underneath them. Usually.
Oh, casting?
Or just normal casting. I guess I'm being too.
Anyways, we missed the
too
green.
complex. I'm being too complex for you.
We missed the green phase back there in green phase.
Let's explain that a little bit. Then.
We missed it because we were talking about cast bar.
Well, explain the green phase to me.
Green phase. Well, you couldn't really see it from my perspective.
It's the poison phase, right?
No, it's not the poison phase.
It's not poison phase?
It's not a poison phase.
Why is it green then?
Because he throws a green pile into the cauldron. But there are ads being kited in the back by our warrior tank around frost traps and picking them up. In the green phase, they are removed. Their buff, the something is removed, and you can do damage to them. So yeah, 15 seconds to kill 9 ads with as much AOE as you can.
So you're having the warlocks back there casting.
We're having everybody back. Everybody goes back.
Everybody runs to the back, deals with the ads. If they don't, it's a wipe.
Well, not necessarily. If you can leave a couple of them up and you can single target them, but you have to kill them. And if you can't kill them by the time these Vile Swills come out, you're fucked.
Ooh.
Right, because they give the Vile Swills their buff as well. It's kind of like this aura that stacks, and so the more ads of those kind, the more aberrations you have out at the same time.
Is the aura die, or is it like a Mortal Strike debuff?
It's not it's a buff that they give each other. It's
oh, you mean to the ads themselves?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, you'll see that on the next green phase when we get there.
When we get there.
Yes, when we get there.
When we get there.
When we get there.
Oh, maybe maybe another minute here or so.
No, it's like 3 minutes. 3 minutes between phase to phase to phase.
So what would you say is the hardest part of this whole fight exactly?
Definitely the swills. This is the heroic only part of the fight, and not in normal mode. These guys have.
You mean like the little ads that pop up
right,
with the darkness and everything?
Right, the ads that we're killing right now are absolutely.
This isn't in normal?
No, this is this dark phase is only in heroic mode. And
wow,
so
that's kind of surprising.
You only have the frost phase and only have the fire phase and the green phase to deal with in heroic mode. So that's a lot about managing the aberrations and having enough AoE DPS to burn them down when
and then you have to have your DPS and everybody out.
Right. Heroic mode changes that. It raises the range timer so you have more time to deal with this added phase. But you have to do really high AoE damage for about 2 minutes in the dark phase. And if you don't have enough, you're pretty much boned and it just doesn't work. And then this is probably, this is like the only editing I actually did on my cool little video here. Escodas dies! Boom!
Pointing out how terrible Escodas is.
No, Escodas is fine. Someone tabbed targeted and blew him up like
a champ. Targeted? You mean he was frozen?
Yeah, he got frozen and then a mage firebolted him or something.
So basically, cluster fucked him to death.
Well, not quite cluster, but fucked him to death, yes.
Poor guy.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't he come back the second time?
He does, he's back. Look.
He's back now.
Yay.
And doesn't he die again towards the end?
You're gonna ruin it, Andy.
I'm not ruining anything.
You're gonna ruin it.
No, this is.
Oh my gosh! The hardest part about doing this fucking fight was having the tanks stay alive while being able to kite the ads.
Well, you got like how many healers do you have for this fight? You have like 4.
Well, it's not really a matter of healers because those ads that he's hiking. He's hiking them. No! I promise no tee during this recording.
Whoa, you failed! Okay, that was unnecessary.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
so one of the weird Twix. One of the weird Twix. One of the weird things about Fire Phase here is that you can actually do 3 of those fire breaths instead of usually 2. I think it's supposed to be 2, but the timer gets fucked up, and so what that means... Is that
a mistake on Blizzard's part?
I don't know,
or is it just like it's
really just annoying. But that means that we only cheese the first one, and the tank turns around and he points them towards the raid.
And when you mean by cheese, you mean basically use
Guardian Spirit.
Yeah, you cheap trick.
Right, yeah. So we use our Guardian Spirit to cheese the first one, turns and faces them towards the raid, and the raid takes the second one, which is usually fine. Everyone's at full health, we can heal them back up, no problem. But adding the third one in there gives us a hard time limit to get everybody back up before that comes.
Couldn't you use a not Holy Paladin, but a Prot Paladin for the same trick? Because they have this, we are
Argent using a Prot Paladin.
You are,
Argent Defender broken or something.
Is it? It doesn't work when they get below...
I don't know why. But anyways, we're on the next phase here, and so he stops doing all the ad stuff, stops doing all the vile stuff, and he does this big AoE poison stuff on. It looks like it's Summon Tyrant. I thought it was just melee, but everybody's dying, so apparently it's everybody.
So does he enrages during this fight? Does he have like a hard time?
He does. They just changed it to 12-minute enrage, and we're actually pretty far ahead of enrage. We never had any enrage problems.
Yeah, this video is only about 9 minutes, so you've got a good 2 more minutes to kill the guy,
which is pretty cool. But on this phase, you can see that he raises his hand in the air. He doesn't have a cast bar for that attack, and then he slams it down, and does a big frontal fire
Yeah, he's doing some explosions now at this point, and starting to hit a lot harder. Is this like only at 20%?
Well, I'm not sure if he actually hits harder in this phase. Probably does a little bit, but it's really the poison and the tank dodging the fire, and you can't really see it very well from my melee point of view. I die from it later in this fucking fight. It's the frost orb.
Is it the circle? Is that the blue circle when he does the explosion, or is
that right there?
Yeah, this blue circle.
That is
right
actually healing rain.
Oh,
surprise! Did you see that explosion? That right there. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that is the frost orb. That is the other hard part of this fight. And
you have to be on the ball and notice when it's exploding. And since you exploded,
no, you have to just not run into it.
You just not run into it. Well, then you just get like it sends you right into the AOE fire pretty much and killed you right there, right? Yeah. The explosion took you down to like half health
through AMS.
Yeah, through AMS, and then it basically cut you down to half health. You're sitting in the fire, and then you got killed by the AoE fire.
Oh, you spelled it out for me, Andy.
I tried to.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I guess we're done. The video's over, and yay, we killed it! Yay, good job! Yay!